Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be the August energy reading. And I'm probably going to divide this into two parts, okay? I've noticed that the last couple of months I kind of needed to do that. So I just wanted to say right now that I'm probably going to divide this into two parts. So when I do an energy reading, what I'm doing is I'm just reading on the energy for, like whatever. So for the example, this one will be, each week I'll go through, the week of the 4th, what's that energy look like? And, I try to put it into an event, but, the event may and probably will be wrong. However, the feelings will be there. And the best example of that was whenever I did that Tarot Rewind for July. It was like, it was all there, and it was all the Epstein files. And so it was just, and so I will do that again for August. I'll do the energy reading and then let a few weeks go by, and I may divide it, like do the first 2 weeks and then maybe the last 2 weeks, where I will go back and I'll take those cards and then we'll put them in context of, like what we're seeing, actually happening. Okay. So before I jump into that, I wanted to share, I had, a couple of things that happened that was kind of weird. And so I just kind of I needed a place to put it, and I thought, after I sat with it for a while, I thought, this will be the place I put it, is in the August energy reading. So the way my intuition works is most of the time, like I use the cards and I get, feelings, from the cards, like, whatever comes up, I'll get, whatever feeling, or I'll see, like for whatever reasons, it's usually 90s sitcoms and movies. I get images of movies. I don't know why. It's just the way it works. And, so that's kind of how my intuition works. Occasionally and very rarely will I get like visions or that like I hear a voice. No, I'm not hearing voices. Actually, in one of these instances, I actually kind of was. So when something like that happens, I usually pay attention, to that because it's so odd. So on July 15th, and I want to give you the specific date because it was, let's see, I'm recording this on Monday, the 28th. So this would be not quite 2 weeks ago. I woke up about an hour to an hour and a half before I normally wake up, and I was not ready to get out of bed. So I was in that kind of dozing awake state, and I had a vision that was so clear. It was like I was watching the news. In fact, in my vision, I was watching the news. And it was the event that, takes Trump out of the White House. And I know that there's been a lot of like, is it his heart? Is it, a stroke? Something like that. With what I saw, it was a stroke or something it had to do with the brain. And that he was no longer in office. And I've been saying, that Project 2025, they're going to prop Trump up for as long as they can until they can no longer prop him up. Okay. So he, has this event. JD Vance takes, like an interim, well, we don't know what's going on. We pray for his, recovery and blah, blah, blah. And so, and that's for like a couple of days that we're really kind of unsure, like what's going on. They're making the plans because they're going to have to 25th Amendment him, okay? Because it's not going to, I don't see him dying from this event. He's still very much alive, but he is not capable whatsoever of nothing, okay? So they will be 25th Amendment him, and he's removed. JD Vance, and I'm going to get to that because that was the second part of something that happened, may assume the presidency for like one hot minute, okay? So that happened, and I woke up and I like ran to my phone fully expecting there to be a notification because it wasn't like a dream and wishful thinking. I mean, it was very different. Okay. And because, I question myself like, oh, maybe that was wishful thinking. Maybe that was a dream. Well, then I had another like vision of something. It was very mundane around the house, and it happened, and I was like, oh crap, like that was wild. So I was like, oh, so maybe that was real. The second thing I had was a moment of extreme clarity, and it was and this was the voice, and it was the Epstein files will take out Trump. It's the election interference that will take out Vance and the rest of the administration. I was like, oh, okay, well, now that kind of starts making sense when we start talking about like the timeline and things happening and like the order in which things happen. So I don't know when this is going to happen. I will say I'm pretty safe to say that it's not going to happen in August, or at least not the beginning of August, and this is why. So with I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I'm going to tie it all back together, I promise. That election fraud case, it had a September date, but that judge moved it back to like the end of August, because I guess whoever's opposing, would it be the government? Whoever's opposing on the opposition, side, filed whatever motion, and the judge said that she was going to rule on that at the end of August. Therefore, the September date was no longer needed, but she wanted to make it very clear to both sides that discovery is absolutely going forward. Okay, so that's the end of August. Kind of put a pin in that. Congress, or the House, is on recess through August. Okay, so those two things, we know that here's a date. House will be coming back at the end of August. This case is going to have discovery that starts the end of August. Okay, now if we have, so you see the order, so the Epstein files, whatever is going to happen, I mean, I kind of expect August to be, and I will do the reading, just to kind of keep gathering steam. That it's not going anywhere, and when it doesn't go anywhere, then that's further confirmation that it's absolutely Project 2025, utilizing this to move Trump on out. So whatever comes out of that, when the House comes back, I do see, and I've gotten that there will be talks of impeachment, but then this health event happens to where they don't impeach him, they 25th Amendment him. But then you've got the election fraud stuff that's going to start coming out, and that takes off like wildfire. And then you see kind of like that, we're kind of getting down to like the details now. Like we're getting closer to where like I can say, with what I'm feeling and kind of what I've been shown is kind of like this, these series of events. It's like, the Epstein file stuff gets released. The House talks about impeachment. Trump has a health event that causes the 25th Amendment. J.D. Vance may be president for like a hot minute, and then the election fraud, and then it's like dominoes. Honestly, it's like when one falls, and it's when Trump is named in the Epstein files. When he is named, without a doubt, those dominoes start falling. Okay, so don't think that that's happening in August. And really, honestly, the big big wild card here is Trump, of course, but it's his health. So like he could have an event tonight, and this all changes. Okay, but the energy that is most prevalent, that is the strongest right now, is kind of that domino effect of what I was saying. So I wanted a place to put that, and I wasn't quite sure where to put it. So I'm putting it in the August energy reading, because it does kind of fit in with all of that. So yeah, if you've had weird experiences like that, especially regarding this, especially on like around that mid-July, did any of you guys like wake up with these like, whoa, what was that type of feeling? Let me know. I would love to know and see kind of what confirmation that we're getting out there, and not just from those of us doing the readings, but also those of you watching the readings. Like I know that you guys are interested in this, obviously, and that you're having your own experiences too. So yeah, share those. I would love to know. So with that, I am going to jump into the energy reading now, and let me see, where am I at on time? See how far I get with this. Okay, yeah, I am probably just going to do August 4th and then the 11th. We'll see where that goes, and then I'll do I'll see where I divide that, and then I'll do the 18th and 25th on the second part of this. So okay, thank you for indulging that really long intro. As I said, it was just things that happened, and I wanted to have a place to put it. So August 4th, the week of August 4th, I would like to know, what is the energy in the United States around that August 4th week? that first week. Okay, as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Always everything on this channel, even before I say it's for entertainment purposes only, it is always for entertainment purposes only. Okay, and for that week of August 4th, in the center of this, MAGA. Okay, messages about something tangible. Now, this also could be those Epstein files, and that absolutely would fall into like, we get, you know, confirmation. Okay, or MAGA, you know, gets confirmation here about something. So it's either MAGA themselves or something near and dear to MAGA. The challenge is something that's been hidden is coming to light. Okay, the answers are there, something that was just beneath the surface. And so the challenge is MAGA's not letting this go. Okay, and can this administration continue to keep it a secret? Okay, the options is walking away. He's losing support. Okay, MAGA is not believing him. He is going to continue to lose support. As I said, I'm recording this on July, what is that, the 28th? Yeah, and it was like 37%. So I think that his approval rating is going to continue to tank because he's going to start losing MAGA. Okay. Something that, you know, like this was 10 of Cups is, you know, like achieving happiness. You've achieved what it is that you wanted. And yeah, it was like he became president. That's kind of what I'm feeling here is, and also the lies that he told in order to do that. Okay. The lies that he told in order to be, and I'm going to see this kind of like as our country. And MAGA is like, we want to know the truth. We don't want to know, you know, you've lied, you know, they're starting to see like he's lied. If he's lied about this, what else has he lied about? And it's like everything. Okay. And he's going to continue losing the support. And then the potential for that is messages. More, you know, and this has always been like my messenger card. It can also be like a whistleblower card. So if I'm going to say, you know, that first week of August 4th looks like MAGA is still demanding to know the truth because of campaign promises. He's going to continue losing support, and then you get the message. I'm curious about this message. Whistleblower, messenger, what do we need to know about this? Page of Wands. This is about MAGA is letting him know this is feeling left out in the cold. They're battle weary. And they want to know about the Epstein files. So Epstein files not going anywhere. Okay. Let's move on to the week of August 11th. What is it that we need to know about the week of August 11th in the United States? Okay, and real quick, I've had some people comment on, you know, how I shuffle, and I have to shuffle side to side like this because my hands aren't big enough. Like whenever I try, and I've already got these shuffled, so I don't want to, you know, mess them up. But when I try to shuffle like this, you see, my hands aren't big enough to do that. So I just thought I would comment, like that's just the way I learned. I learned to do it this way out of necessity. Okay. For August 11th. Oh, karma. We know this is it's the Wheel of Fortune card. This is, it's ruled by Jupiter. It's our good luck card. It's also, karma's a bitch card. So who's having good fortune and who's not? Okay. The challenge is the irrational, you know, rash action that has been taken. Okay. King of Swords, somebody like these are decisions that have been made. Decisions, it's not just the decisions that have been made, but the action that's been taken. Okay, we're not just talking about taking action, we have taken action. This is also anything medical and also anything legal. Okay, so that's, I'm gonna put that there. And then here, things are up in the air. The foundation of this is things like, I was getting ready to say like illusions, but I'm getting more like surprises. That feels closer to like what, and very quickly. So, like things that, and I'm also feeling like that, and I've been hearing this a lot too, is like the things that were never, agreements that were never to see the light of day have now come to light. The foundation is how many secrets are going to come to light. And that very quickly, like it's like rip the band aid off that this happens. Ooh, I wonder. I mean, this is kind of feeling like Epstein file stuff coming out on, and things that are, I don't know, because I was just getting ready to say, it feels as though like Trump's being named that week of the 11th, but this is like things are still hidden. So the outcome is the truth is still hidden, but there's still a lot of pressure to go forward. I mean, like that pressure, I'm just seeing it building. Like if he's not named by that week of the 11th, it's like the pressure's on him big time. What is this high priestess? Um, I just want some clarification on that to make sure. King of Swords, like the pressure for him to, release it, but yet he's not. It's like the decision to, hide it. And yeah, the Death card, major transformation. He knows that this will be the end of his presidency if it comes out. The Justice card and victory. I think that there is pressure for it to come out. If it comes out that week of the 11th, he's the Justice Department is not who's released it. It's somebody else. And so they're still trying to deny it. They're still trying to hide it and cover it up. That's what's going on for the 11th. Okay. I'm gonna stop this reading right here, and we'll go into the 18th and the 25th. I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger, but you don't have to wait an entire year to, like our TV shows make us do, for part 2 of this reading. It will come out tomorrow, okay? Because I'm in this energy and I want to stay in this energy, and to keep going with this. So yeah, for what I'm seeing for the 4th and the 11th, just that pressure is building and building. And I think by the 11th, if there's like some major news that comes out that week, I am reading it as the Epstein files. It could be something else, but there's major news coming out that Trump does not want coming out, and he's trying to like continue to hide the truth, bury the truth, because he knows that this will be the end of that. This will end him. This will end his presidency. So, kind of excited to see what's going on now for that. Thank you very much for joining me. I am going to put the Tarot Rewind for July up here. There was 2 parts, and I'll go ahead and put both of them up here for you just to see kind of how I do that, especially if this is one of your first energy readings with me. Usually the way readings work is, I have a focus for the reading, and then I do the reading, and then, that whole thing. For the energy readings, I'm just reading the energy. I don't know what this event is. Now, do I think it's the Epstein files? It sure seems like it. Do I really care what the truth is that's going to come out to end his presidency? No, I don't care. So it's the feeling that I'm getting with what's coming up here, that those first 2 weeks of August, just more building and building, with truth coming out about him, some big truth that can end his presidency. So that's what I'm getting. Check out some of my other videos, and part 2 will come out tomorrow. So be sure you subscribe so you can get that notification. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next reading.